we just received moments ago from the National Hurricane Center the 2 p.m. update. We want to bring you all of that information.
And there's a sentence here that really popped off the screen to me. Intensification seems likely within the next 12 to 18 hours. In that time frame, Adalia is forecast to become a hurricane.
You know, the wording here, whenever you have the National Hurricane Center say things cannot, like life-threatening storm surge and dangerous winds are becoming increasingly likely for portions of Florida, you know, they don't just throw those words out willy-nilly when they're starting to say life-threatening. It means that folks really need to take this very seriously.
That's right. And there's just so many impacts that are going to be associated with Adalia.
Just another fire, huh? Just another fire. Well, in the picturesque landscapes of Hawaii, a very perplexing saga of fire, hurricanes, and doubt is now unfolding across the lands.
Now to a very unusual sight captured on camera. Japanese and local astronomers say a Chinese satellite was recently seen beaming down green lasers over the islands. This video captured atop the Subaru telescope on Mauna Kea, operated by the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan. Bryce Moore has the story.
The lasers flash for just a couple seconds. Initially thought to be from a NASA altimeter satellite, the Japanese put out a correction note on Monday saying NASA scientists found a most likely candidate as the ACDL instrument by the Chinese Daki-1 AEMS satellite. I went to a University of Hawaii astronomer who read up on AEMS instruments.
It's a Chinese satellite that is measuring pollutants, among other things. It has many different instruments on it, some kind of topographical mapping, or they're also used for measuring stuff in the Earth's atmosphere.
It's casting a shadow of suspicion over a string of wildfires that have undoubtedly engulfed vast stretches of the United States this year. And among these sweeping blazes, a very particular incident on the very tranquil island of Maui. In Lahaina, I apologize, I haven't been to Lahaina, so I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. But in Hawaii, it stands a testament to a much larger narrative, one that raises questions about the accidental nature of these fires. And it also hints at the possibility of meticulously orchestrated sequences of events. Some of these things just can't happen on accident. Oh, it's just a coincidence. I beg to differ. 2023, right? Here in the United States, we've been ravaged by an astonishing number of wildfires. 38,831 wildfires to be exact, right? And these ferocious fires have literally torn through over 1.9 million acres of land, leaving behind a trail of devastation and despair. Well, right now, the nation's grappling with about 80 large wildfires, which are actively raging across 14 states, consuming a staggering 657,822 acres of land. You got to know that some of that land is actually being used to grow food. Yeah. So I'm not even going to go there on this one. But in the midst of all this fiery chaos, a single spark set off a chain of events that's drawn a lot of attention to a larger narrative. What is that narrative? Well, on a seemingly ordinary day, if we go back to August 8th, Lahaina, Hawaii becomes the epicenter of a very suspicious unfolding mystery, so to speak. A Lahaina wildfire, which wreaked havoc on this beautiful island of Maui. It's just a stark example of potential intentional natures of fires, right? Or so they say. The destructive blaze reportedly ignited by a downed power line belonging to none other than Hawaii Electric.
This is a disaster.
That drive through hell is how Rafa Ochoa and his family made it out alive.
I knew it was bad.
And it was moving fast?
And it was moving fast, really fast. It got to our homes within seconds.
With the fast-moving fire closing in on his home, Ochoa heroically grabbed both his kids and his friends' children. Their parents were at work and scrambled everyone out.
Did you hear any alarms? Did you get any kind of warning?
No alarms, no warning, nothing.
Hawaii Electric. Keep hearing that name come up. Well, the name of the electric company, Hawaii Electric, is inciting both outrage and suspicion. Now, initial reports came out that this fire was the result of Hawaiian Electric's failure to shut off power despite the presence of hurricane force winds and, of course, the ultra dry conditions of the lands, and an oversight that transformed a minor spark into a ferocious inferno, laying waste to basically everything in its path. However, this particular story, it takes on a very curious twist as whispers of controversy begin to come to the surface. Now, there's a number of different debates, talking about whether the fire was truly contained before it had experienced a very unexpected resurgence, spreading even further and creating more desperation. Well, Hawaiian Electric's initial attempts to deflect the blame onto county firefighters initially crumbled as the company admitted that their power lines were indeed responsible. They try to blame everyone else, right? How you gonna blame the firefighters? Yet a shroud of suspicion does remain. And it's suggesting that the possibility of a very carefully calculated act rather than just a mere accident may actually be behind this massive wildfire that has been experienced in Maui, Hawaii. But it doesn't end there. The plot actually thickens as these allegations continue to emerge that Hawaiian Electric tampered with evidence at the very source of the fire's ignition, removing poles and wires that may very well have been crucial in unraveling the truth. The company's actions raised doubts about their conspiracy, or rather, I shouldn't say conspiracy, their transparency and their ultimate intent. Now, this disturbing revelation adds an extra layer of intrigue to this whole story as it unfolds. And I'm going to continue to share this new information with you guys as it comes out. But the consequences of this Lahaina wildfire, they're dire and they're heart-wrenching, guys. Downtown Lahaina is transformed into a scene of destruction. Lives have been lost and structures have literally been reduced down to ashes. And the very gravity of the nature of this particular event, this situation triggers legal action against both Hawaiian Electric and the county itself, holding them accountable for the devastation and the loss that unfolded on that particular day. Now, the ripple effect of wildfires is rather profound if you think about it. Lives are lost, homes are ravaged, and communities are uprooted. Not to mention the land grab situation. Realtors rushing to the scene trying to buy up land on the cheap while people are looking for a place to stay. Their homes have been destroyed, businesses lost. Meanwhile, some of these opportunistic real estate agents, entrepreneurs I'm not even going to go there, basically looking for a quick buck on the backs of this horrible situation. But legal battles ensue, aiming to assign responsibility to the vast damages which were inflicted by the wildfires. But the story doesn't end there, folks. Wildfires continue to rage across various states, from the rugged terrains of Idaho, let's not forget about Montana, all the way to Alaska and Oregon. This huge battle against these relentless fires, they're still going on as we speak, as I record this video, guys. With containment efforts seemingly almost useless. The intensity of these wildfires, they're only exacerbated by the changing weather patterns, which a lot of people question, are these weather patterns that we're experiencing normal? Or are these weather patterns that we're experiencing being influenced by an outside source? I'm going to leave that for you guys to decide. By the way, if you made it this far in the video, please do your boy a favor, drop a quick like for the video. Also subscribe to the channel. I totally appreciate that, guys. But, is this attributed to climate change? Is that where we're getting all these wild and ultra aggressive wildfires? It really highlights the urgency of a proactive approach in managing and mitigating these types of destructive forces. But, in spite of the turmoil of the wildfires, another force of nature is actually looming very large. Let's not forget about the hurricanes. So as Hurricane Hurricane Adalia, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Hurricane Adalia, as it gets closer to Florida's panhandle. I mean, we know what Hurricane Ian did last year, right? Well, was it last year or year before last? Starting to lose track of all these different hurricanes. But as Hurricane Adalia gets closer to Florida's panhandle, we're talking about Panama City Beach, maybe Destin Beach.
We just received moments ago from the National Hurricane Center the 2 p.m. update. We want to bring you all of that information. The winds have increased. The pressure has decreased by about 3 millibars or so.
Yeah, that's an indication that it is slowly starting to intensify. Again, not a major change. We're still looking at a tropical storm at this point in time. But I am reading the advisory, Michael, and there's a sentence here that really popped off the screen to me. Intensification seems likely within the next 12 to 18 hours. In that time frame, Adalia is forecast to become a hurricane.
You know, the wording here, whenever you have the National Hurricane Center say things cannot, like life-threatening storm surge and dangerous winds are becoming increasingly likely for portions of Florida, you know, they don't just throw those words out willy-nilly when they're starting to say life-threatening. It means that folks really need to take this very seriously.
That's right. And there's just so many impacts that are going to be associated with Adalia. You're looking at the variation of warnings and watches that are in place. We really have been watching hurricane warnings, that lighter shading of purple from south of Tallahassee all the way down through Tampa, as again, this is going to be the zone that gets the brunt of the impacts. That right quadrant of the storm is going to pack, you know, life-threatening storm surge. We're looking at our highest wind gusts as well as sustained winds and an abundance of rain. So we really don't want you to let your guard down. At the very least, we want you to continue to prepare for what's to come.
There's a lot of beaches on that panhandle, guys. A lot of families, a lot of homes. And Hurricane Franklin. Let's not forget about Hurricane Franklin as he sets his eyes on Bermuda. The convergence of these two threats creates an atmosphere of heightened awareness and preparedness. I'm just saying, being informed and being vigilant is very, very key to navigating these very challenging times, guys. And as our entire nation tries to handle the series of wildfires and the threats of hurricanes, all we want to do is understand what is going on. And I think that understanding and preparing is definitely going to be paramount here. You know, the narrative is definitely weaving through uncertainty and shadows of intention. It's drawing forces and individuals to see clarity among these chaotic events that we're dealing with. So staying informed from reliable sources and local authorities generally seems to be the beacon guiding individuals and communities through these tumultuous times. I hope that we can continue to rely on these sources, that we can continue to rely on our local officials to tell us the truth about what is going on and how we can best prepare. In a world where fire and wind is pretty much working together against us, this pursuit of truth and knowledge, it definitely remains a beacon of hope. My thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in Maui, and my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in the Florida Panhandle region as these storms approach, as well as my thoughts and prayers go out to those who live in Bermuda. As individuals and communities stand together against these challenges, I just hope that the truth actually comes out about what happened in Maui. We need to know. We need to know, and people need to not be taken advantage of. So, you know, I just hope that you guys share this message, share this video, drop a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and we're going to figure out what happened here, guys. I'm going to see you guys on the next one.